Imagine your body as an incredibly intelligent machine, except it runs on tiny, invisible chemical codes with names that sound like Wi-Fi passwords. B12, K2, D3. You can go for months without thinking about them. But the moment you're missing just one key type, things start malfunctioning in a strangely quiet way. Your skin dries out like paper, your bones weaken like rotten wood, your blood thins, and your brain begins to glitch like a weak signal. And the funny part is, most of us only remember vitamins when we catch a cold, or when we see a colorful 10-in-1 supplement ad. But the scientific truth is brutally cold. Vitamins aren't magic, they're biological switches. Without them, your body still functions, but it functions in barely holding on mode. Today, I'm going to walk you through the most important vitamins your body actually needs, so you understand why even a small deficiency can drain you, like someone quietly unplugging your battery. Vitamin A, the thing that lets you see in the dark. Vitamin A is the reason you can see clearly at night, or at least the reason you don't trip over the water table when you walk to the kitchen in the dark. It's one of those basic but insanely powerful vitamins, because it's involved in things you assume are automatic: vision, skin, immunity, and cell regeneration. Scientifically, vitamin A helps create a molecule in the retina called rhodopsin, the thing that allows your eyes to detect low light. If you're deficient, you don't go blind instantly, but something strange begins to happen. Darkness starts to feel thicker, and your eyes take much longer to adjust when you move from bright light into a dim room. That's night blindness. And for millions of people throughout history, it was a living nightmare. But vitamin A isn't just about your eyes. It's also the guardian of your skin and mucous membranes. It helps your epithelial layer retain moisture and repair itself. Without enough vitamin A, your skin becomes dry, flaky, and inflamed, and your immune system weakens because the first line of defense is full of holes. At that point, your body is like a house with windows that no longer seal properly. Cold air, bacteria, and viruses can slip in far more easily than you'd think. In the past, vitamin A deficiency was so severe that children in many regions went permanently blind simply because their diets lacked leafy greens and vitamin A-rich foods. That's also why golden rice was created, genetically modified rice containing provitamin A, sparking debates that still haven't died down. You can find vitamin A in carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and liver. Yes, liver. The food we all pretend we can handle once a year, and then the whole family goes quiet because nobody wants a second bite. But vitamin A has one very specific trait. Too little is dangerous, and too much isn't fun either. Because vitamin A is fat-soluble, your body can store it. If you consume excessive amounts for a long time, you may experience headaches, nausea, dry skin, and even liver damage. In other words, this is not a vitamin you should take just to be safe. Vitamin B, the big family, big drama inside your body. If vitamin A is a clear main character, vitamin B is an entire cinematic universe. Vitamin B isn't one vitamin, it's a big family. B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, B9, and B12. And the funny thing is, there's no B4, B8, B10, or B11, as if science skipped a few episodes mid-season because it decided they weren't necessary. But while the names are confusing, the role of the B group is absolutely critical. These vitamins are directly tied to energy, the brain, the nervous system, blood, and metabolism. Put simply, if your body is a factory, vitamin B is the team of engineers running the machines. Without them, the factory still exists, but the entire production line freezes. B1, thiamine. keeps the nervous system functioning smoothly and helps convert carbohydrates into energy. Without B1, you can develop an old-school disease that sounds like a villain's name, beriberi. In the past, it wiped out sailors who ate too much polished white rice and too few nutrients. B2, riboflavin, helps your body burn food into energy. And it comes with a hilarious side effect. If you've ever taken a multivitamin and noticed your urine glowing neon yellow like a traffic light, congratulations, that's B2 saying hello. B3, niacin, is involved in metabolism and DNA repair. A deficiency causes pellagra, known as the 3D package, dermatitis, diarrhea, and dementia. B5 is gentler. It supports the production of hormones and neurotransmitters. The good news, B5 is found in so many foods that deficiency is rare. Basically, the easygoing relative in the family. B6 strongly affects the brain, mood, and red blood cell production. If you're deficient, you may develop anemia, neurological issues, irritability, fatigue, and sometimes you won't even know if you're miserable because of life, or because you're missing a vitamin. B7, biotin, is the media celebrity vitamin, marketed as the secret to beautiful hair and strong nails. But here's the harsh truth. Most people already get enough biotin from their diet. It's like a famous person that almost nobody actually needs to meet. B9, folate, is crucial for DNA production and cell division. That's why pregnant women are advised to supplement folate to reduce the risk of neural tube defects. This is the vitamin your body uses to write the very first lines of a new human being. And finally, B12, cobalamin, the heavyweight boss of the B family. B12 helps create red blood cells and protects the myelin sheath around nerves. Without B12, you may feel crushing fatigue, tingling in your hands and feet, dizziness, memory issues, and even long-term neurological damage. And the irony is, vegans are especially vulnerable because B12 is found mainly in animal foods. The B vitamins aren't as famous as vitamin C or vitamin D, but if you lack them, your body becomes like a car. It still has the shape, it still has wheels. But the engine won't start, warning lights flash everywhere, and you can't figure out why you feel exhausted, even though you eat enough. Vitamin C, the most famous star, and also the most misunderstood. If vitamins had a showbiz industry, vitamin C would be the national celebrity. The moment you sneeze once, your entire family immediately shows up with oranges, lemons, guava, and the same familiar spell. Take vitamin C so you don't get sick. It sounds logical. But science is a little, brutally honest. Vitamin C is not a magical shield that prevents colds. Large studies show that for most people, supplementing vitamin C doesn't reduce the chance of catching a cold, but it may slightly shorten the duration and make symptoms milder. Meaning, vitamin C doesn't stop the thief from entering your house, but it helps you clean up faster after the house has already been ransacked. So why is vitamin C still so important? Because its real role isn't fighting colds. It's something more fundamental: building and repairing your body. Vitamin C is required for your body to produce collagen, a protein that acts like biological cement, keeping your skin firm, your blood vessels strong, your gums healthy, and your wounds able to heal. Without vitamin C, your body doesn't just feel tired. It begins to fall apart. History gave us a terrifying lesson: scurvy. For centuries, sailors on long voyages died slowly because they lacked fresh fruits and vegetables. The symptoms sounded like a horror movie: bleeding gums, teeth falling out, wounds that wouldn't heal, weak bones, and bruises appearing from the slightest bump. They didn't die from storms. They died from missing something tiny that you can find in a single lemon. And that's why the British were once nicknamed limeys. Not because they liked decorating drinks with lime slices to look fancy, but because limes saved them from death. Biologically, vitamin C is also a powerful antioxidant. It helps neutralize free radicals, troublemaker molecules that can damage cells, promote inflammation, and accelerate aging. You can imagine free radicals like tiny sparks flying around a factory. A few are normal. But if there are too many and nobody puts them out, the entire factory burns down. One more interesting thing. Your body cannot produce vitamin C on its own. Many animals can. Humans can't. We lost that ability through evolution, and from that moment on, vitamin C became a mandatory outsourced contract. You have to get it from food every single day. And because your body also doesn't store vitamin C long-term, if you get careless, your levels can drop faster than you think. That's why vitamin C is like cash in your wallet. There's no real reserve, and if you forget to refill it, you go broke very quickly. You can find vitamin C in oranges, lemons, strawberries, guava, bell peppers, broccoli, and countless other fruits and vegetables. In fact, many vegetables contain more vitamin C than oranges. Oranges just have better PR. Vitamin C won't turn you into a superhero, but if you're missing it, you'll feel it clearly. The human body isn't a steel machine. It's a living structure, and vitamin C is one of the things keeping that structure from collapsing from the inside. Vitamin D. The vitamin in disguise. Vitamin D is a very unusual character. It's called a vitamin, but in reality, it behaves more like a hormone. In other words, this isn't something you take for fun. It's a powerful molecule capable of influencing hundreds of genes in your body. And the strangest part is, your body doesn't only get vitamin D from food. It can also produce it, as long as you allow your skin to be exposed to sunlight. Sounds simple, right? But here comes the 21st century plot twist. We're living in an era where humans practically avoid the sun like we're dodging debt. In the morning, we put on sunscreen. We go to work indoors. We come home indoors. Weekends happen inside shopping malls. And suddenly, your body is like a beautifully designed solar power plant, locked under fluorescent lights. Biologically, vitamin D's most famous role is helping your body absorb calcium and phosphorus, two minerals essential for building bone. Without vitamin D, you can consume calcium religiously, drink milk every day, and still absorb it poorly, like buying construction materials without having any builders. Historically, vitamin D deficiency caused a terrifying disease in children: rickets. Kids developed bowed legs, soft bones, and poor growth. It exploded in old industrial European cities where children lived under smog, with little sunlight and almost no chance of being touched by the sun. Later, scientists realized the solution was almost painfully ordinary. Let children play outside and fortify foods like milk with vitamin D. But vitamin D doesn't stop at bones. This is where it truly acts like a hormone. Vitamin D helps regulate the immune system, teaching your body to distinguish between strangers and allies. If you're deficient, your immune system can become confused, reacting weakly to infections, or overreacting in ways that create long-term inflammation. Many studies also show that low vitamin D levels are linked to fatigue, low mood, sadness, and even increased risk of depression in certain groups. Of course, vitamin D isn't an antidepressant, but it functions like a baseline switch. Without it, it becomes very easy to feel exhausted for no clear reason. The irony is, rickets sounds like a disease from the 1700s, but vitamin D deficiency is quietly making a comeback. Because modern life has pulled us away from the one thing the human body relied on for millions of years: sunlight. You can get vitamin D from sunlight, fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, egg yolks, vitamin D fortified milk, or supplements. But if you live in a low sun region, work indoors most of the time, or always cover your skin, vitamin D can become a biological debt that accumulates day after day. Vitamin D doesn't cause an immediate disaster. It doesn't make you collapse overnight, but it weakens the body slowly, like a house having its foundation removed. Bones thin out, muscles weaken, immunity becomes loose. And you don't understand why you seem to be aging so fast. Vitamin E. If vitamin C is the famous star, vitamin E is like a bodyguard standing still in the shadows, rarely mentioned, but if you're deficient, your body begins to break down much faster. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin, most notably alpha tocopherol. Its main mission is to protect your cell membranes from free radicals, destructive molecules that drive oxidation, inflammation, and aging. Biologically, vitamin E is especially important because it prevents lipid peroxidation, a chain reaction type of damage that spreads like a forest fire across cell membranes. Long-term vitamin E deficiency can lead to nerve damage, muscle weakness, clumsiness, poor coordination, and vision problems. Nothing gentle about that. Fortunately, vitamin E deficiency is quite rare because it's abundant in nuts, vegetable oils, leafy greens, avocado, especially almonds and sunflower seeds. But here's the unexpected twist. Vitamin E is not the kind of vitamin where more is better. High-dose supplementation over time may increase bleeding risk, especially in older adults or those taking blood thinners. Vitamin E's message is clear. Get it properly from real food, instead of trusting a capsule labeled anti-aging. Vitamin K, when your body needs the stop bleeding button. Vitamin K is the kind of vitamin you barely remember exists, until you start bleeding. Vitamin K's most famous job is blood clotting. Without it, your body is like a system that has lost its stop button. Even a small scratch may bleed longer than normal, and more dangerously, internal bleeding can happen without you seeing it. Biologically, vitamin K functions like an activation switch for clotting proteins, especially prothrombin. It helps these proteins bind calcium in the correct way to form clots. Without vitamin K, the proteins may still exist. But it's like employees who never received their key cards. They're standing there, but they can't do the job. But vitamin K isn't only about blood. It's also a major player in bone health. Vitamin K activates osteocalcin, a protein that helps direct calcium into your bones instead of letting it float around in the bloodstream and settle into artery walls. In other words, vitamin K helps calcium go to the right house, preventing it from ending up in the wrong place and causing trouble. Vitamin K comes in two main forms. K1, found in leafy greens like spinach, kale, and broccoli. K2, found in fermented foods and animal products like cheese, egg yolks, and especially natto, the famous Japanese fermented soybeans that smell like old socks, but nutritionally hit like a superhero. Vitamin K deficiency is rare in adults, but newborns are highly vulnerable, which is why hospitals routinely give vitamin K shots right after birth to prevent bleeding complications. And here's an important detail. If you're taking blood thinners like warfarin, vitamin K is not something you want to consume. Some days a lot, some days none, because it can interfere with the medication's effectiveness. Vitamin K is a cold but fair reminder. Your body doesn't just need energy to survive. It also needs mechanisms to repair and protect itself. If you ever thought vitamins were just something you take for peace of mind, by now you can see. They're nothing like the colorful gummy candy in advertisements. Vitamins are tiny components, but if you're missing even one, your body begins to malfunction like a computer missing a driver. Vitamin A keeps your eyes from going dark. The B family prevents your brain and energy from losing battery halfway through the day. Vitamin C patches collagen so your body doesn't slowly fall apart. Vitamin D is the key that allows calcium to enter the bones correctly. Vitamin E acts as the antioxidant bodyguard, and vitamin K is the stop bleeding button, while also directing calcium so it doesn't wander into your blood vessels. The scariest part is this: vitamin deficiency rarely knocks you down immediately. It just makes you a little more tired, a little weaker, a little sicker. Until one day, you look back and ask yourself, wait, why did my body decline so fast? So instead of chasing super supplement marketing, sometimes the thing your body needs most is surprisingly simple. Eat properly, eat enough, and understand what you're actually lacking. Thank you for watching. If you found this video interesting, please hit like, share, and subscribe so you can receive more meaningful videos like this.